Hey Fab, well let's see. The fact that you guys have 37 or 35 degrees Celsius weather right now is nifty. Unfortunately, it's also abnormal. Well, actually, I think it might be abnormal in the sense of this isn't something that you guys go through every year. Um, in regards to well, unemployment, they call it POGI. They call it unemployment stamps. They it used to be unemployment insurance. Now it's called employment insurance. Um, and the reason why is because it's in case that you lose your job to give you some form of support temporarily based on the hours that you work and the region that you live in, at least here in Canada, anyways, um, to give you a boost. Now, it's not made to be lived on, and it's very difficult to be able to live on it. Um, Unfortunately, it tends to be something that gets repeated over and over. Um, in regards to debt, I've been indebted when I was actually married. I remember the first year we didn't know how to manage our finances and we racked up a credit card debt that was actually slowly uh, killing us. It wasn't $10,000, it was more like 2,500 or $3,000. But I've never been indebted with that much money. And we just couldn't pay it. In fact, we didn't understand our credit card. So, what Pete said in this particular vlog, do what he says in regards to a credit card. Don't use it lightly. Here's what I do. Credit cards are never used by me except if I know I can pay the bill at the end of the week. In other words, I save up all my receipts. I make sure that the transactions are noted. And toward the Saturday or Sunday via internet banking or a different protocol, an ABM, you name it, I pay the bills. I go and pay the actual credit card purchases so that if I use the credit card for points or anything else that are being used here, the Canadian Tire credit card is what I use often due to the fact that it gives us credit card, not credit card, but Canadian Tire money, which you can use in Canadian Tire stores to purchase product or reduce the cost of something that you find nifty. So I use that everywhere, and I pay it back immediately at the end of the week. Now, if you're incapable of doing that, don't use a credit card. It's as simple as that. Or even better yet, use Pete's suggestion: a Visa debit card or any other type of debit credit cards that will allow you to access your money in your account to be able to use a credit card without having to have cash on hand where they accept that type of credit card. Um, I I am in debt currently, but it's not an entirely negative debt. I'll explain. I own a house. I pay mortgage on my house. I am indebted to the bank to pay my house back. But it's a positive mortgage. It's a positive debt. In other words, it's something that has value that if hard times hit, I need to resell or I need to move out, I at least have this. I have a car debt for my heirs. That unfortunately will depreciate as the years go by, regardless of how I look at it, and it's something that I need here because without a car, as much as I use public transportation, it's not 100% reliable. And in New Brunswick, we do have distances to cover. If we want to go from one city to the other or outside of the city, you can't go by bus, at least not by using the regular transit system. So, my tips, what can I give you as tips? The only thing I can say is that if you sit down and do your budget, thanks to my parents, my mom being the more tenacious of between my father and herself, she insisted on sitting me down and actually giving me a weekend course on how to do a balanced budget and maintaining it. However, the only thing I can't balance, and even if I want to at the moment, I don't have enough salary coming in, is retirement savings and those. So I don't touch them at the moment. But I do save everything that I need to save in regards to bills. In fact, for me, it's $495 per week to be able to pay my necessities. And I'm doing it and more. I'm not dying. I'm well fed. I have everything I need without overspending. And the only thing I recommend to you folks that are struggling, make up a list of the things that you absolutely need. And by that, I don't mean coffee. I don't mean cigarettes. I don't mean cable. The things that you can do without if you're too stretched for budget. You make up the lists of the things that you actually need to actually touch, which is groceries, paying your bills, which are paying your electricity bill, your water bill, your rent if you're renting a house or an apartment or a bungalow or whatever it is, your mortgage if you're a homeowner, car payments, and then all the insurances that you need, such as home insurance, car insurance, mortgage insurance, and I recommend that for anyone, especially because if you're two people owning it and somebody dies, or somebody is sick, and both of you are paying the house or the rent, well, actually the rent wouldn't count. Mortgage insurance is only on that. It assists in making sure that you're covered. Gas money, because if you have a vehicle, you'll need to be able to pay gas. And I think that's pretty much it. And if those, depending on what those add up, you'll need to adapt your lifestyle to suit your monetary income, not the other way around. A credit card will only lead you to debt. Trust me, I've got a friend who racks up his credit card, but he pays his with interest early enough that it doesn't penalize him. He's capable of doing it because he gets more income than I do. So don't get yourselves into debt. You have to then dig your way out, and it's till death do us part in most cases with marriages now. That's the major marriage breaker or relationship breaker. Have a nice one.